All right, everybody's gone to the washroom, and I think we're ready. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, there was a lot of bathroom breaks getting into this one. I don't know.
Somehow the 55-year-old's the only one that didn't need the can.
And you drank so many Diet Cokes today.
Might be a little dehydrated.
Yeah, I think you could just mix in a water, my guy.
What is water?
Even when we got nothing to talk about, there's nowhere I'd rather be. 'Cause there's something about you and me just sitting around talking sheets.
Thank you, Dan Davidson. Had a great 2025, that Dan Davidson guy, and we expect more of the same in 2026 for him. It is Talking Sheets, and it is brought to you by our presenting sponsor this week, the Edmonton Pet Expo. That's right, they're back January 17th and 18th at the Edmonton Expo Center. It's the biggest event for pet lovers, and we'll talk more about it later, but you went last year, and you had so much fun.
It was awesome. It was. I knew it was going to be a fun time, but it blew me away when we went as a family.
And it's going to be, your daughter now is into...
I thought that she liked it last year.
But now she's into moo, she's into
she's into woof woofs the most.
She's definitely into woof woofs. That would be dogs.
Yeah, so. I think what's so exciting about this presenting sponsor is that we've been going long enough, this is episode 52, that we promoted the Pet Expo last year. So we're like, getting reoccurring sponsors, and it just shows how far we've come and that we've kept this thing going.
Yeah, and the Pet Expo was our very first.
They were like
OG.
They were like, you're starting this thing. We feel good about it. We believe in you, and so it's really, really cool to have them back and to just realize how much has changed, but then how much we've committed in the last year as well.
That's very true. All right, and we will talk more about the Pet Expo.
More details to come.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. Okay, let's get into the show. We were kind of not fighting and arguing. We were having a discussion because when is your anniversary show?
Yeah.
Is it your 52nd show if you've done 56 straight weeks, or 52 shows if you've done 52 straight weeks, or is it your 53rd show, which would be your first show of your next season?
Yeah.
And I would say our anniversary show should be our 53rd, which would be next week.
That's what we decided upon, which means you decided upon it, and then we just went from there.
Yeah.
We weren't actually arguing. I feel like in the last few episodes we've said, oh, we're coming into this with tension. Not today.
No, not at all.
We've actually show prepped. We've chatted. We've hung out. It's been good vibes.
We're ready to go. When I was the boss at Kissin' Country, the ladies, Danielle and Carly, that worked with me, made a sign, and it had a picture of me on it, and it said, if you agree with me, you'll always be right.
And that's the truth. But I think that I also have that, a little bit of that attitude as well, which is why sometimes...
Which is why it's a miracle we're now 52 weeks straight into the show.
Almost very little actual fighting.
No, it's
just
true.
Squabbles.
You've cried a few times. Who were trying to kid?
Everything makes me cry, though. Happy, sad, doesn't matter.
That's very true.
Not that much over the podcast.
No.
To be honest with you. Like, when I really think about it, it brings me a lot of joy and obviously a lot of work. But I haven't cried about it much. So
well, and that's me, right? Because I'm always excited about this. I said it's my favorite hour of the entire week when I get a chance to do this. And I said I think it's Bailey's too. So I keep trying to make it bigger and better and be more involved because again, I'm just trying to do what's best for you.
Yeah, the problem is that I just don't have that many hours in a day.
No, not as much as your dad.
I got a lot going on, but. I think maybe new year, new me. Even sometimes it's been a little bit of a grind getting down here to do it. Today, I feel like we were both excited. So we're starting the year off with good energy. Welcome to 2026.
And welcome, Renato, producer of the show.
Yes.
I think do I have your mic on, Renato?
I think my mic's on, finally. I don't have to ask you to turn it on.
That was his New Year's resolution, is like, please let me on the show without having to ask permission. May I speak, sir?
All right, we set him up. Maybe sometime in 2026 he'll get a camera on him. But again, Bailey is afraid that somebody's going to fall in love with him. It'll become a heated rivalry thing, and all of a sudden Renato will be off. And so we can't afford to show his good looks on this show.
It's not going to be heated rivalry. I've seen that man skate. He can't keep up to those guys.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, it'll be a somewhat heated rivalry. Let's do good sheets, shall we?
Sure.
All right. Do you want to start? I feel like I've been doing a lot of talking so far. So
I feel like I've been doing a lot of talking.
I was doing a lot of talking.
Yeah, that's true. I've been pretty excited this weekend because on Friday night, as we record this, it's Sunday. If you're listening to this week, maybe it's Monday. I got to go to what is kind of been a trending thing lately, and I think more this year than ever, a favorite things party.
These are a few of my favorite things.
Exactly. Oprah's favorite things. I think that like that's kind of the inspo too. You know how Oprah used to give away all her favorite things in December specifically?
Yeah.
So this is kind of like a definitely a big thing on TikTok, but a trend where groups of people get together and there's a budget and everyone brings a few of their favorite things, but you bring like 3 pairs of your favorite things. So 3 of the same product or whatever item, and you kind of do a gift exchange. You pull numbers and it's the whole thing. I couldn't have had a better time. Our friend Liv, it was supposed to be earlier in December and then everyone got sick, which we talked about on this show, but it was rescheduled to this Friday. I went in honestly not knowing really very many of the people going. So that's kind of scary because you're like, are they going to like my things? Like I was kind of nervous, but it was the best group of gals. It was just really, really fun. And I came away with quite a haul. Yeah. I got a body wash. I got a lotion. I got some candles. I got sunscreen, which if you see me if you're watching on YouTube, you know that I wear my sunscreen because I look like a ghost.
And I don't, yes.
That should be your resolution is wearing some sunscreen. Yeah. I got candy. I got perfume. You get a real variety of items. But it was a little bit stressful picking my favorite items because it's like I love a good product. And so it was hard to kind of decide what to pick, but I ended up going with This is if I can influence you here, my Weleda moisturizer, which is a really thick, great moisturizer, very reasonably priced, and body wash from Lush called Yognog, and it smells like eggnog and it's sparkly, and I use it year round and it makes me feel festive. So those were my things. I think the girls liked them. It was just a really fun time.
I wonder what kind of favorite things party I'd go to. Like, I wonder what they would be involved if I was at a favorite things party.
The other thing I brought...
I don't really have favorite things. I mean, I've got some.
The other favorite things that I brought to the party were Friesen Brothers cinnamon buns.
Oh, okay. Well, that would have been good.
So I think that's something that you would bring. I brought it as part of my favorite things were also cinnamon buns.
Okay.
So that, I think, is something that you could go with. Diet Coke, but that's not really very exciting.
No, but still, it would be okay.
You couldn't bring a Kubota tractor to a favorite things party.
Shout out Edmonton Kubota. I would suggest that the one thing that you brought that is one of your favorite things was your daughter.
Yes.
She was invited, which was awesome, but then other people also have young children. They chose not to bring theirs. So you had this one little, yard ape running around being crazy.
I kind of... I love to bring her everywhere, and
sure.
I think I've talked about how like parents should every space you can make into a child-friendly space, and I think I got overconfident a little bit, and I sort of forgot with her new skills developed. We haven't done a lot in like small groups since she started walking and moving. I underestimated how mobile she's become and how curious she's become, and how bringing her into a home where the people do not have kids could be a risk. And this is no fault of the host. Liv and Steven's house is stunning, beautiful.
Yeah.
It's how our house how our house would have looked before we had a kid. But you don't realize that like regular homes are death traps. And this is a beautiful architectural home with stairs that don't have backs and glass. And maybe of course kids Liv had mentioned that kids were welcome, but a lot of the ladies opted to leave theirs at home, and I understand why now.
Yeah.
I am an advocate always. I love to have Leona with me, but I was sweating for sure.
Well, my dad would always tell a story about neighbors who didn't have children, and they invited my mom and dad over, and my brother and I, who were 11 months apart, were like 2 and 3 or 1 and 2 or something like that. We were young, and we were, what did you say, starting to be adventurous or curious or whatever you call
very
it.
Curious.
We were extremely curious young boys, and we would just, everything we touch, they would just pick up and put away, and in like 10 minutes, there was nothing left in that house, and it was time for the Scheetz boys to go home.
Yeah, they were such gracious hosts, but I had to move their Christmas cards because they were all displayed very low. Yeah. There was a few lit candles, and again, I think that like the world shouldn't have to change because you have a kid. You should adapt to that. Right. But it was at the point where I was like, she is destroying this beautiful home. But luckily, producer Renato came to the rescue. And he collected her so I could do the sorting of the favorite things. Yeah,
but you felt like you were kind of imposing on them.
I did. I felt bad,
like
and
you kind of brought down the vibe in the room. But then you said that a lot of these young ladies that were there are excited about Leona, so they were okay.
Oh yeah, I mean, like she brought a really good vibe. It was just
a busy vibe,
chaotic, and they had all these Liv made all these beautiful cocktails, and she's trying to grab the So it was a lesson learned for sure. I understand, we're going to talk about screen time a little bit later, but I understand why sometimes parents just give their kids an iPad. We could have used an iPad in that moment.
Oh,
I will
understand
say.
it completely.
I will say that, but you know what? We lived at Liv's party, and everyone had a great time. And the men had joined us later, and that's when producer Renato took over. So they had gone out, and they were joining us for the party, and they went downstairs and had I don't know where I wasn't worried about that because I was deep in my favorite things exchange at that point.
Okay.
But favorite things party was absolutely a good Scheetz. I would recommend it to anyone who is looking for a theme party. I don't think it has to be around Christmas. It could be any time.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite things party. I like it. Okay. Mine is David Letterman. Now, David Letterman, I tell the story about you wonder why your daughter stays up so late and then sleeps in. When I used to work on the radio and I used to do the evening show, I would come home from the evening show and David Letterman would be on at 12:30 on cable in Devon. It was so exciting. We'd never had cable before when I was growing up on the farm. And I would watch David Letterman, and you were a young girl, probably Leona's age, 16, 17 months, and you would watch with me. You'd be like, Letterman.
At 12:30 a.m.
And I just have always appreciated him. I just thought he was the best. He was unique, his style. Jay Leno always beat him in the ratings for the most part. And it was because quite often they say, don't give them steak when they want wiener and beans. And Jay Leno would give you wiener and beans humor where it would be real obvious and kind
for
of
everyone.
Dad joke stuff.
Yeah.
David Letterman, always next level. He would push things to the next level. And for some people, that was like over their head when it came to comedy. But he was just, as far as I'm concerned, you ask any of the late night guys now, they'll all say that David Letterman was David
for
Letterman
the
was one.
sophisticated people like you watching TV
Which
at
is a joke
12:30 with
because
your baby
I'm a wieners and beans kind of sense of humor guy.
and food
Yeah.
as well.
But we have Samsung TVs, and all three of them, we got Samsung television. And on Samsung television is a David Letterman channel. And I have found myself more often than not, as I try to unhook from reality and what's going on in this world, because it's quite, in my view, quite disturbing and quite scary. I will just turn on David Letterman from 1992, and he'll be doing his stupid pet tricks. He'll be doing his top tens. He'll be doing these goofy things. And there's no, again, talk about, politics or anything going on in the world. It's just, watching it just because it was a safe time. And I remember it being a great time in my life. Right. And not that this
it's
isn't.
the nostalgia.
Yeah.
You're
so
having the
I am
nostalgia
watching
feeling.
it constantly and laughing and enjoying it. And I'm just finding myself going, this is interesting, So I don't know.
Physically, you're here. Mentally, you're in the 90s with David Letterman.
Absolutely.
It's not the worst way to escape.
It's a better, I guess that is my escape. It's better than watching cable news and
getting stressed out before
doom
bed.
scrolling and doing all that kind of stuff. Doom scrolling, not strolling. Doom strolling would be another.
Doom strolling at night.
Shout out to David Letterman and just kind of again watching something from the past that and maybe it's just an idea for others. Sometimes maybe it is good to. We all need to understand what's going on in the world, but sometimes it's good to just unplug and go away from it.
My version of that, I guess, would be me reverting to the 90s is how Leona is watching. I'm showing Leona different television shows that I watched when I was a kid.
Big
so
Comfy
obviously,
Couch.
Big Comfy Couch is by far her favorite. But we got into Blue's Clues a little bit lately. So we've been watching some Blue's Clues and just watching that show, remembering all of those things that like something about watching it makes me emotional and makes me feel like really relaxed because probably the last time I watched it, I was 4 years old or whatever, 5 years old. And so, but I remember certain things about it and also just the way that television was produced and shot then it's so calming, like it's not as quick and at you and the colors aren't so crazy. It's usually just someone talking and then little Blue the dog is up and jumping around and she loves it too. But I think that that's been my kind of escaping is when those shows are on I feel calm and it's fun to be able to watch them with her.
And one of my aha moments that I will add to the David Letterman stuff that I'm watching, one episode he had was bringing in all the parents of all of the staff that worked for him, and they did this thing, and it was really bad. Like compared to nowadays and technology, it was like ridiculous how low tech it was. But anyway, the thing that was interesting was all of the people that worked for him. All of their parents looked so old. Again, I truly believe like they were probably in their 60s or early 60s, and they look like they were in their 80s.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's the way they dressed or their hair, but I don't think so. I think that people now appear to be so much younger than they were even in the 1990s. A 60-year-old in the 1990s, like now, I mean, a lot of my friends are in their 60s, some even in their early 70s, and you go 70s, they don't look like they're in their 70s.
Yeah.
It's a different time.
I've seen comparisons on Twitter about that, where it's like this was a dad in the 90s and this is a dad now. And I think a lot of it is like the styles, like older people are wearing the same things that younger people are, but also less people smoke, which is going to make you look a lot younger. Yeah. And there's also sunscreen. I mean, some people wear sunscreen, but that makes a big difference in terms of aging. Yeah. And I think just like the way that people treat themselves and their bodies as we talk about the new year and our ins and outs for it and fitness and health, I do think that there is like a lot more focus on those kind of things that maybe there wasn't. Yeah,
it appears when, and no disrespect to the people that were in their 60s in the 90s, or in the 60s in the 80s, but they look like they just kind of at 60 you kind of gave up.
Yeah, like well, I mean, we also have Botox.
Yeah, well, and there's
I
there's
think a lot more people are. I mean, there's the preventative Botox trend where like young girls, mostly girls in their 20s and early 30s are all getting Botox. So I think that that's probably a reason too, especially the celebrities we see. Celebrities don't age anymore. Yeah. So we have like a skewed reality of what people look like. But if people are drinking more water, smoking less, and wearing sunscreen, I'm happy with that. Okay. Those are good things.
All right. Anyway, there's my observation. Yeah. All right. It's time for Bull Sheets now. Brought to you by Cook County Saloon and Steakhouse. They got the AAA Alberta beef. They've got the food is fantastic at the steakhouse that they've opened up in, when did they open up? September, I guess. And the club is bigger, and it's just so cool. They got Aaron Goodvin coming to Cook County, I believe, on February 20th. Get your tickets for that and a bunch of other really cool events at Cook County Saloon. We love Cook County.
We love it. I'm feeling, I was telling producer Renato today, I'm feeling a night to dance. Yeah. So we might need a babysitter. Producer Renato and I are going two-step, and he doesn't love to dance in the same way that I do, but there's no place better than Cook County. If only we could bring Leona in, because she loves to two-step.
She does love to dance.
But we do bring her to the steakhouse.
That's for sure. Okay, what is your bullsheets today?
My bullsheets, and this is related to what we're talking about, and as we're in the very beginning of 2026 of January. How many times have you written 2025 already?
I don't know. I had a hard time with 2025, like wrapping my brain around it. I've only done 2026 a couple times, and I've nailed it so far. So maybe for some reason,
you're ready.
For some reason, I always had to remind myself it was 2025, but I think 2026 is going to stick. I don't know why. I don't know why.
I kind of feel that way too, but I don't feel as like shocked by it, I guess. But this is the time for New Year's resolutions. We hear it's all over online. It's on TikTok. Everybody's talking about what they're going to change in their lives, and to me, it's a bit of a bullshit. I am all for growing and evolving and setting goals for yourself, but that can't just be something you do on January 1st. And I feel like the date forcing you to do it before maybe you're ready or without setting yourself up for it, you're not prepared, and you set yourself up for failure saying like, I will not eat carbs after this date, or I'm going to start running right now. I think that more it's like, I do think that the new year brings new and fresh energy, and there's things that you can change and start to do, but I don't think it needs to be so I have to do this year.
Okay.
I kind of think New Year's resolutions are bullshits. I've never really made one, and if I have never stuck to it. So I think
most people, it's like, I just wonder if New Year's resolutions weren't created by the fitness industry.
Absolutely. And maybe I am a hypocrite here because I am trying a new workout class this week.
So there you go.
But that's not because it's a New Year's resolution. It's because they had a New Year's deal. Okay. So I think that there's lots of that. But I think that if you want to better yourself or there's something you want to change, you should do it when you're ready. Yeah. Not because the calendar changed. Time is fake. You know?
Okay. All right. Okay. My bullsheets this week is it Pluribus?
Pluribus.
Pluribus is the show that I loved. It again. What's his name? Vince
Gilligan.
Vince Gilligan, the same guy that was the director, producer, whatever of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and this Pluribus, fantastic.
People are loving it.
Yeah, and so watched all 9 episodes.
Is there only 9?
Couldn't wait. Loved it. Just soaked it all in. It ends on, shockingly, a cliffhanger. Yeah. And so just for fun the other day, I decided to Google, when is season 2 coming? And it said, They haven't shot it yet. Speculation is at some point in 2027. That is complete bullshit.
Yeah.
Like 2027?
Hey, but it's 2026 already. Now.
No, it doesn't count. Here's my mortality moment. I may not even be there for 2027. Come on. If you really care about the people that watch these shows, it's got to come at least by September of this year.
Yeah. But that's the way that it is now with streaming services and how shows are renewed. They can't plan or prep anything until they know it does well. They have the money and then they renew it.
They knew this one was going to do well.
But they don't always know. I mean, like...
Okay, fair.
But I'm with you on that. I hate the waiting. This actually brings me to a spontaneous bullshit that I didn't write down, but I'm now thinking about.
Yeah.
Stranger Things. It's been 10 years or 11 years since the first season.
Yeah.
And they did 5 seasons and it just finished. And I have no spoilers for you, so if you're a huge Stranger Things fan, don't worry. I loved the first 2 seasons of that show.
Right.
I was so hooked. And then there was...
So did I.
There was so much time between the seasons that I just lost, I lost interest, and also the episodes became so long. Like the final episode was 2 hours and 15 minutes long. The whole 4th and 5th season, every episode was an hour 15, an hour 30. I couldn't keep up, and I got overwhelmed by Stranger Things, and so I didn't get to finish it. And if you're a huge fan, I hope you enjoyed how it ended, but I do think that it is a bullshit. The time, you really lose...
I love the show, of course, because they were growing up in the exact same era I was. It was kids of
the 80s,
of the 70s
and 80s,
that grew up in the 80s. And so it was everything that I saw was so retro and so perfect. But then I found as I was watching it, I'm like, this show is too weird for me. It's too strange. Stranger Things got too strange. And you're right. I see it now on Netflix or wherever it is.
It's a big deal.
That it's there. But I have no interest in watching.
Yeah, I lost. I also think that these kids grew up. Millie Bobby Brown, who plays 11, is married to Bon Jovi's son and has a child. She adopted a child with him.
11's married to Bon Jovi's son?
Yeah, so she's Millie Bobby Brown Bon Jovi, which is amazing. I really like her, and I want the best for all these kids because I invested in them when they were so little, like Harry Potter. They were such kids, and now they're all grown ups.
Okay.
But there was too much time between seasons, and the episodes were too long, and I couldn't keep up. So I guess that you're right. Pluribus, hopefully 2027. I always get worried about the timing, and then once the show comes quicker than you think.
I know. I guess it's maybe what I should do, but then how do you do it? But with Breaking Bad, for the most part, we didn't get on it until there were 5 or 6 or 7 seasons.
Yeah,
so then
that's the best way to do it.
And we could just watch, right?
Getting in, especially a show like that where you're the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. It's always nice when you can keep up. But these days, it's just everybody watches things when they're in their hype, you know. So it's harder, but. I think you're going to make it to 2027.
Oh, I think so too. But I'm very frustrated that I have to wait that long.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I will wait and I will watch.
Yeah, and maybe we'll watch Stranger Things eventually.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, maybe. I watch Morning Show, and I finished that.
Is it done?
No.
That's a show on Apple TV.
Yeah, and that's with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon and John Hamm, and I liked it a lot.
John Hamm's in that show?
Steve Carell, right?
He was. Oops, spoiler alert.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Spoilers.
Let's do this. All right, it's time for ins and outs for 2026. What are ins and outs? What does this mean?
Yeah.
We were talking about it earlier, and your mom is like, what is this ins and outs thing? I don't get it.
Yeah, ins and outs is just a common thing that people have started doing at the end of the year that are like, this is what I like it better than a New Year's resolution because it's not changing who you are. It's just something that you're like, I'm not into this year, and I'm into this year. Okay. So your ins are something that you're like, this is the energy I want to bring into 2026. These are things I'm liking heading into 2026.
Okay.
And an out is something that you're over. You're done.
Okay. Self-explanatory.
Yeah.
All right. I'll start with the ins. I think it was a 2025 thing towards the end of 2025, but 2026 will be the year of Ella Langley.
I do think so.
The country music singer, choosing Texas, and
she's a star.
Something about that girl. She's just, I think she will. She's kind of not taking over necessarily, but Lainey Wilson. I think that those are probably the two that are going head to head right now when it comes to females in country music. And Ella Langley is just going to have a monster year.
I think so. Yeah, she's so. I've said this before on this podcast. She's one of my favorite TikTok follows. She's so funny.
Yeah.
So not only does she have the voice and the talent, but she has a personality as well. So I really like her. And if she's got more heat coming, like choosing Texas, I'm all in.
I think she does.
Yeah.
All right. And related to that, what's your in?
My in is bangs.
Yeah.
This is something that I cut my bangs because after having Leona, she's 16 months old, I lost a bunch of hair up here, as we talked about again in the podcast. And as it started to grow back in little hairs, I was like, well, I may as well commit and just fully get the bangs. But I've been loving it. Bangs are a lifestyle choice because you have to do them every day. But it makes it look like you're making an effort even when you really don't make an effort. So
I've never even thought about bangs. I'll be honest with you. Well,
that's male privilege. Male privilege is never thinking about bangs.
I didn't even, I've heard the term, but I didn't really know what bangs were.
Like you've never had bangs.
Well, no, it looks like a turtle is humping my forehead. Like, it's not good.
I think that you clearly have never lived inside a woman's head, because any woman, if you're listening to this at any given time, is thinking, should I get bangs?
Yeah.
At least 4 times a day.
4 times a day you think about bangs?
It's constant. It's a constant. And then once you have bangs, you're like, should I grow out my bangs?
Well,
every day.
You know what guys are thinking about more than bangs? Oh, bangs. No, never mind.
Oh my God.
I wondered if Chris was going to go there, and he did.
Starting 2026.
All right. In Winter Olympics, love the Winter Olympics. It's coming up in February. Of course, if Renato's relatives in Italy can get an arena done, there's going to be the hockey going on and all the other sports. Curling. Jennifer Holman, who is actually at an event that I was at on New Year's Eve. We'll talk about that coming up. But Winter Olympics, definitely an in. It's much watch TV, and there's some speculating that Canada, little old Canada, with our 40 million people, just might get the most gold medals at the Olympics this year.
I am ready to put on my Canadian flag. Like I'm ready to wear it. Like that is when you feel most patriotic. Yeah. And I love that there's something to watch all the time. Yeah. Like the last Summer Olympics in the summer of 2024, I was so pregnant and just waiting to have Leona, and it gave us something to watch. But Winter Olympics are even more fun. I love the skiing events. I love skating. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, a lot of the events will happen 7 or 8 hours ahead of us because Italy will be that. But then, you know what? Again, some of us don't necessarily have to get up early, so we can watch late at night.
And they're replaying them all the time. You never know what's live and what's not live, but it's the best. Yeah. I love figure skating. Obviously love the hockey, the Winter Olympics. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and based on the dynamics of the world right now, it'll be
interesting.
It'll be very interesting. Yeah. Again, the Canadian pride, you can feel it. Certainly in the last year or so, it's kind of been elevated, and so it's just going to be a fun time.
Do you want to talk about your sweater for the people not watching on YouTube?
I got a Mickey Mouse sweater with the Canada flag on it.
Which are your 2 favorite? If you were to bring something to your favorite things party, it would be Mickey Mouse holding a Canada flag.
It's true. Okay, I'm going to talk to him. Hey, Mickey. Hi, Mickey. Hey, Mickey, listen. I want you to build a Disney park in Edmonton.
Please.
Yeah.
Please. Vancouver even.
Indoor.
Come on.
Indoor.
Somewhere else. Yeah. Anywhere in Canada would be amazing.
Okay, but that's it. Winter Olympics. Go Canada, go. Get ready. February. It is going to be here.
And what I'm excited for is I don't have any hockey games to cover at that time.
Right.
So I'll be locked in.
The Oilers are off for 3 weeks.
Yeah, so I'll be locked in.
Except for Connor and Leon.
Yeah.
Leon will be playing for Germany, of course.
Related to the Olympics.
Yeah.
My in for 2026 is lifting weights.
Right.
Because a lot of resolutions and things are fitness based, and this isn't about getting smaller or changing your body. It's really about I've been pushing the weightlifting on you and Mom.
Right.
Pretty aggressively. I just really think that resistance training in whatever fashion works for you is the most effective way to maintain muscle mass and bone density. I know I'm getting old because I think about working out in a way of like, I want to make sure my body functions well for as long as possible. It's no longer like, oh, I want to be thin or I want to look like this or whatever. It's like, I just actually want to be functional. And when you have a kid, you're like, oh, you have to keep up and you have to be running around, and she's so heavy. But especially for you and Mom, I've been pushing this like a crazy person, because it's the number one factor of making sure that like you live long and healthy and have a really good time when you're elderly. Not saying you're elderly now, but lifting,
Mortality moment. Lifting weights is an in.
It's in for me.
I don't disagree with you.
But it's in for my parents the most.
I don't disagree with you because, and again, I'm not in this state, but there's some people that are really skinny. They can tread water in a garden hose, but it's you fall down, you break a hip, you need to have that strength, right?
Yeah.
And so
2026 is not about making yourself smaller. It's about making yourself stronger.
Okay.
That's my in.
All right, I got it. Another in for me would be the Blue Jays. This year, again, last year was an incredible ride. Of course, they went all the way to the World Series. Should have won it. Should have, could have, would have. They absolutely should have won it.
I do think about it every day.
Drives me crazy because I see the Dodgers and Dodgers fans just going, oh, yeah, we won again. But they got so lucky.
Yeah,
it's
if
so
the ball
frustrating.
hadn't been stuck,
well,
there's so many.
But there was a
things.
lot of different things that just didn't quite go our way in the last couple of games. But the Blue Jays continue to keep signing people, and they're like, it's almost like, because I thought, okay, well this is a once in a lifetime thing, which is why your mom and I went to Los Angeles and watched the games. But the way it's looking, they could have another great year. So let's go Blue Jays.
We should talk about in the last podcast when you said you hadn't traveled since April, and then as I was editing it, I was like, do you not remember chasing the Blue Jays around? Is that not clocking to you?
Chasing the Blue Jays. I sound like I'm a bird watcher. Yeah, you're right. But anyway, go Blue Jays, go.
Yeah. If they're stacking the team, it's a good sign.
They're stacking it.
Yeah.
They're absolutely stacking it. They just signed another guy from Japan who's like, they used to sign guys from Cuba and the Dominican Republic. Now all the great players seem to be coming from Japan.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
Yeah. Go Jays, go.
Go.
All right. You got one?
I'm like really, I guess, in my wellness era here, but in the world of smartphones, and when I have a job that requires me to be on my phone and on my laptop for like 12 hours a day, and then a podcast that requires more than that even, I've got a lot of screen time. My screen time is very high, so my intention for 2026 is to read books before bed instead of sitting on your phone doom scrolling. Like I really want to be reading books and having my sleepy time tea before bed.
Okay.
So that's a hope. I did do that a little bit in 2025. I've been reading a lot more books, so I'm excited about that. But keep that going and try to put the phone down and read before bed so that I can calm down. That's my David Letterman, I guess.
Okay. No, that's a good one. All right. In for me in 2026 is the Tony boxes.
Yeah.
These little Tony boxes, and if you're not familiar with them, they're just they're square. They're like probably 4 or 5 inches by 4 or 5 inches, or maybe more 4 inches by 4 inches. And they got a little bit of a platform on it, and you put these little people on it, or these little figurines, and whatever figurine you put on it, it tells the little computer inside this thing that it becomes that. So example, for Miss Rachel, right? It's Miss Rachel sings all her songs and her does the stuff, and you can bang the side of the box and she'll move on, and you can turn it up and turn it on. And
it's really like a TV without a screen.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is actually a good thing.
Yeah.
But when Leona's watching her, she's got her Miss Rachel, and it's happening on this Tony box. She's always looking at the TV, and she's confused, like, why is this not on the TV?
Why is my
too?
friend outside of the TV
But
now?
What a cool invention.
Yeah, and there's so many options. Like, she doesn't have many. We got her the Tony box for Christmas, and she only has a couple right now.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about the creative Tonys.
Yes.
That our friend Lauren made for Leona.
Yes.
Which is
OG Scheetz head.
Oh, OG Scheetz head Lauren Fink. Lauren Fink Pollock.
Yeah.
She made a creative Tony, which means you buy these generic ones and you upload things to it and you can paint them. Because Leona loves Big Comfy Couch so much, and because that show is from the 90s, there's no Tony for it that you can buy.
Right.
But she made one for Leona, and it's a little Lunette the Clown that she hand painted and then uploaded all the Big Comfy Couch songs onto it. So she can put it on and then do her little clock stretch while Lunette sings all the songs. So that's pretty. There's so many possibilities with a Tony. We have just scratched the surface. You can make a Taylor Swift Tony because you can upload the things. And
Right. It's a brilliant thing.
There's cows, there's moose.
I wish I would have thought of it.
Well, I don't know if we have the tech minds.
We don't, but
maybe producer Renato could have.
Because you buy the box and then you got to buy all these little things, and oh my gosh.
It is also like a scam. Like the box was not cheap, and these things are not cheap, and you're constantly buying them. But
this just in.
At least it really does keep them entertained, and for a little girl that loves music so much, it's a fun way for her to be able to pick her own songs.
Okay. All right, got it. Yes, Renato.
I have an idea for 2026. What about Talking Sheets Tonys?
Yes.
We should make a custom Tony, and
it can play the best bits from the podcast.
It can go sitting around. If I don't know, we didn't think about that. If a Tony,
you can do that.
You can upload them.
Okay,
Yeah.
Lauren Fink Pollock.
Yeah, if you could get that going, if a Tony sang the Talking Sheets theme song,
Yep.
she would be so pumped.
Okay.
It's a good one. That's a good idea.
There's some things coming in the new year.
Yeah,
here. But I think the Talking Sheets Tony, but then it has to be one of us or the other one of us, right? It can't be two of us.
Split halfway. I don't know how they would do that.
I don't know.
One side would have bangs, one side wouldn't.
That's Lauren's problem, not ours.
She's going to figure it out. She's the craftiest person I know.
Okay, there's an in for you, Tony's. What's your in?
My in is being an auntie. We talked about it. Carter and Leslie were on the show, my brother and my sister-in-law, and we are in the home stretch of waiting for this baby. And I could not be more excited. I'm just really, being a mom is incredible. Being an aunt, I think about this baby constantly. I'm so excited for it to come. I can't wait for my auntie era in 2026. I think that's the thing I'm most looking forward to, is just being an aunt.
Yeah.
And having a little baby that is not mine, that I can play with and hang out with and cuddle and not have to stay up all night with.
Yeah, no, it's true. Well,
How are you feeling about being a grandpa number 2?
I tell your mom quite often that I don't think that I'm there yet as far as really realizing this is happening.
But you were like that with me too.
No. Yeah.
I think you were like, I don't think until Leona, you were holding her, you were like, whoa, this is real.
Yeah.
Like my pregnancy, you
Yeah.
weren't pumped in the same way other people were.
Well, you know what? The creation of a baby and everything around it is just so much of a miracle that
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense to me. I don't
No.
think.
The growing of
especially-
it?
Yeah, especially when you think about your kids, you just, obviously you'll hope and pray that at some point they have children, but you still can't really wrap your brain around it until the baby's born. Like
Yeah.
it's really, really exciting, and I know I'll be just as excited, but right now it's not disbelief and it's not, not wanting to believe it's happening, but my brain, for whatever reason, I don't think can really understand it.
And you can't picture the baby being here until they're here.
Yeah.
I think you were that way with Leona for sure.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I'm still at the point where I still feel like you guys are kids, so it doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, it's gonna come.
Double grandpa coming in.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's a girl or a boy.
We don't.
It's just so
And
exciting.
we just know that we're fighting over names, and we're not really even fighting over names.
Well, that was happening when they came on the podcast. That it's still happening now. The
Yeah.
name discussion.
I just wish they would. Well, do I wish they would? I mean, you guys kind of kept it to yourselves, and they're definitely. Well, Carter would keep it to himself, but Leslie certainly does.
She wants committee. She wants a decision by committee, and she comes over and she
But
says.
then she doesn't like
she
when the
says-
committee makes a decision.
she
So it's.
says, I'm not leaving until we have a big boy name picked out. Hey, she is now 9 months pregnant.
Yeah.
She can do whatever she wants.
I
It's
don't
not
care.
an easy time.
Yeah, very good point. All right, what am I in for? Oh, I'm in for bougie toasters.
Ooh.
I didn't even know there were such a thing. Your mom will kill me for this, but
Yeah, she specifically mentioned not to bring up the toast.
yeah, we got a really, really very kind gift from my mother-in-law. Nadia, just she gives
For Christmas?
everybody money, which is another story. She should stop doing that. So we're going to make that happen. But Karen said, "Yeah, I'm going to use that money to buy a toaster." I'm like, "Oh, okay. That doesn't make sense because that was quite a bit of money." She says, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "The toaster cost that much money?" And she said, "Not quite." I'm like, "Not quite? What kind of toaster is this thing? Gold platinum toaster here?" And
It's a smeg for those
which
listening
I
at
had
home.
never heard of a
Oh,
smeg before.
The girlies know. The people, if you know, you know. It's
Okay.
really nice.
And she says, "I don't want you guys to talk about it because I don't want to sound bougie." But in her defense, she's got this little kitchen, and there's very little counter space. But she wants her bougie toaster. As long as I can put my Eggos in it, I'm okay
I'm
with
sure
it.
it toasts really well.
Uh,
And beforehand, you had a really big, giant, older toaster, and it took up way too much
Yeah,
counter
it
space.
looked like
so,
something from the 90s.
Yeah, so this guy, it looked like it was in Stranger Things. It looked like 11 was toasting her Eggos on the old toaster, so she deserves it. She deserves
She
it.
deserves it, but that's what's in bougie toasters. Who
Okay.
ever knew that there was such a thing?
Yeah.
I did not know. I was yesterday years old when it arrived that
Yeah.
I realized that we needed a bougie toaster.
Okay. But you're into it.
I'm
it
into
looks
it.
great.
It does look great.
Yeah.
And whatever. Like, again, it was money from her mom,
My
Could have
last,
bought me an Oiler jersey or something, but whatever.
you have enough of those.
That's true. All right.
My last in is having a podcast with your dad.
Yeah?
It was in for 2025. It's still in for 2026. We're only it feels like we're just getting started, and we're 52
only
episodes
just
in,
begun.
and there's so many exciting things to look forward to this
Okay.
year with the podcast. Producer Renato does have, I think, an in and out to share. So
Oh, yeah.
Am I allowed to, Chris?
Oh,
Do I
you know
get
what?
your blessing?
Whatever. Go ahead. Just before that, we'll just say hi to Londonderry Dodge because
Yeah.
we want to tease because we do have some producer Renato fans. They all
Yeah.
call him Ronaldo, but whatever. Everybody calls him Ronaldo. Yeah, Londonderry Dodge, again, welcome to the new year from Jamie and Mitch and the entire staff there, Bob, who owns the place. They're just, they're good people. They do great business. And of course, this is the time of year because they're now looking at those 2025s and saying, ooh, the calendar changed. We got to get rid of these vehicles and what they have left. They want to move out. And if you need a 2026 or you want a 2026, they can set you up with that as well. Right?
Our Jeep Compass Trailhawk is a beautiful vehicle, and you can also get your oil changed. You can get maintenance done there. Let them know Talking Sheets sent you.
I said to your mom yesterday when we left your house, I said to her when we were trying to get out of your neighborhood and get out of your residential streets, I said there is no way the Elantra would have gotten out of this
Our
subdivision.
small older car.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
So thank goodness for the Jeep Compass Trailhawk.
It is like we're in the mountains.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this last year, but it is worse this year
Oh.
because of all the snow. It is treacherous. The scariest part of our drive is definitely our cul-de-sac area.
Yeah.
Once you're out, you're okay. But yeah, the Jeep Compass Trailhawk makes it easy. You put that bish in snow mode
Yeah.
and you're ready to go.
All right, and we've got the Ram, and what can I say about that? The Rebel Ram as well is fantastic. Londonderry Dodge. Okay, producer Randy, what is your in and out?
Well, I'll keep it to one in and one out. I don't
Yes.
want to take over the show.
Please.
Yeah. Well, yes, you do, but
Yeah, that's another
Is that
story.
my secret dream? In is taking over the podcast for 2026. Seriously, my in is jazz music.
oh,
So, for a little bit of context, one of our favorite things to watch over the holidays is the Charlie Brown Christmas special,
Yes.
which was soundtracked by the Vince Guaraldi Trio. So it's all jazz music. Like all those classic moments are scored with jazz music for that cartoon, and it's just some of the most beautiful music ever made. You know, you can't help but hum it. You know, when you're
kind of dance.
making Christmas food and wrapping presents, and now I just realized, man, maybe I just like jazz music. So I think 2026 is about embracing, you know, all of the classics. There's so many great jazz artists. I'm gonna dive into some of the famous jazz labels like Blue Note, and it's also sometimes you just don't want music with vocals. You can put it on in the background, you know, during dinner. Or
So is that a definition for jazz music? There's no vocals?
No, you can have, like, there is jazz with vocals, of course,
Okay.
but a lot of it, I think
It's
I'm focused
instrumental.
on the instrumental sort of jazz, which I just think is groovy, and it brings a lot to the table, and something that I want to spend more time listening to in 2026.
Groovy.
A little bit of smooth jazz.
Exactly. Well, I'm also getting older. Like, you know, I'll be 39 in March, and I feel like, you know, jazz it makes sense as you're getting older. Like, you should
You
embrace.
mature into
Yeah,
the jazz music.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know?
All
Give us
right.
some
Sure.
Yaz flutes.
There's your in. What's out?
Out in 2026 are houseplants. I'm tired of houseplants. And to be fair, I brought this upon myself.
You used to love plants.
Maybe in 2027 they'll be back. We'll see. But for 2026 they're out. And that's because I've realized it's so much work. They always die on me. And it's just like another responsibility that at this point in my life I don't need. Like, I have so many responsibilities.
Yeah.
I got multiple jobs. I got including being the father of a 16-month-old Tasmanian devil. And, you know, remembering when you have to water them, how much to water them, because it seems like I overwater them or underwater them. I have no idea. They always die. And I just don't need something more on my plate. Like, I love the idea of bringing some green into the house and having some plants that create some more oxygen. But yeah, I'm tired of it. We need to buy some fake plants.
We had a great run with houseplants, though, in our time together. And it just seems like, coincidentally, since we've had Leona,
Yeah.
we've just not, our plants have had a bad time.
Have you ever thought of just playing jazz music to them? Because they are apparently very close to human. They apparently you're supposed to talk to them. We've heard that before. Leslie, our daughter-in-law, and your sister-in-law, she was giving the plant some water the other day when we were there, and she said, "Here you go, honey, honey." And I'm like, she is really talking to the plant. But anyway,
Hey,
we don't have time
but
for
her
that.
plants are alive and ours aren't.
We don't
so
have time for that,
maybe,
yeah.
Maybe they feel neglected now that we have another child.
That's true. Much like honey felt when Leona was born.
We're keeping a French bulldog alive. We're keeping a toddler alive. It's hard to keep plants alive. I think that's fair.
Yeah, you got a lot of the go. I agree. The
Yep.
plants are probably, they're definitely lowest on the totem pole, so to speak.
Yeah.
Hey, the Edmonton Pet Expo again is back. They're a presenting sponsor of the Talking Sheets podcast this weekend next, January 17th and 18th. It's happening at the Edmonton Expo Center, the city's biggest event for pet lovers. You were there last year, and you just loved it.
It was such a good time. There's so many unique and interesting pets. There's the super dogs, which do no shade to the beautiful French bulldogs sleeping on my toes right now,
Yeah.
but those dogs are incredible.
I would say they're super.
They're super. They do all of these little demonstrations, and
Yeah.
it's really
It's
such
scary
a
to
good
see
time.
actually how smart these dogs are.
And there's all of these different giveaways. You can shop. There's so many different accessories for your pets at home. There's also a free petting zoo, which I cannot wait to bring Leona to this year.
Yeah.
Because last year she did participate in the petting zoo. We held her up to some animals. She had no idea what she was doing. This year, she loves she loves identifying animals and petting them. So I think it's going to be really, really fun. There's also demonstrations, and you can talk to trainers if you're having pet problems at home. Not that anyone here would relate to that.
No, we have no idea what that's like. And photo opportunities, right?
There's a bouncy house.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for Leona to experience
Will they put the
that.
goats in the
It's
bouncy
just
house
for
with
kids.
you?
It's for kids, I'm pretty sure.
All right.
There's lots of great photo opportunities. I got some great photos last year. It's
Yeah.
for families, couples, pet lovers. It's for everyone.
Okay. And Talking Sheets, watch on our Instagram because we'll have a code to save you some money. We'll
Yeah.
also have a big giveaway
Yeah.
with the Pet Expo, so your chance to win on the Talking Sheets Instagram pages. Tickets are on sale now at petexpo.ca. All they ask that if you do come, and when you come, please don't bring your pet. I know everybody's excited to bring their pet and show it off. It'd be like, show and tell at school.
Show dogs, yeah.
Here's my dog.
Yeah.
My dog's a super dog too. Don't bring your pets.
No, because that would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
There's already all of the show pets and all of the different petting zoo.
Yeah.
We can't have another dog running around in there. So
Okay, love it though. Again, tickets on sale now at petexpo.ca. It's the 17th and 18th, and we thank them for being the presenting sponsor of the show. We also thank Mother Dough Bread Co. I was there earlier today. I went and saw Angel and the staff, and they're fantastic. They were so busy, which is great news. Again, it's in Winterburn Point. You wanted to highlight what sandwich?
the new special sandwich, which is the Southwest smoked pork. Before we got to try it, I saw it on Instagram, and it was like a little slow-mo video putting on all the ingredients, and every ingredient that was put on, I was like, yes. Yes, yes, I was so excited.
Yeah.
It's stunning. It's on a sourdough baguette. It's the Southwest smoked pulled pork. There's arugula, hot peppers in oil, which I love a spicy sandwich, garlic butter.
Spicy sandwich.
Yeah, spicy sandwich.
Yeah.
Garlic butter and chimichurri, which is just all my favorite things. So good. So
All right.
that's their special right now. Unfortunately, the holiday feast is no longer there that Care loves, but they've replaced it with something equally delicious. So on top of that, you can get cold, warm sandwiches, bread bowls, which I have to mention that Jean Principe,
Yep.
friend of the show,
Yes.
friend of all of
Friend of the
Edmonton.
world.
Yeah, friend of the world, Jean Principe,
Yep.
came up to me at Oilers practice the other day, and he said, I gotta make my way to that Mother Dough Bread Co. I saw you guys talking about the bread bowls, and I love a bread bowl. He says, it doesn't matter what's inside the bread bowl. I love a bread bowl. And I said, Gene, you gotta go. You gotta go. And so as an Italian man, there's so many options for him.
Yeah.
But we influenced him on the bread bowl. He says, I gotta make my way there.
Yeah, the only thing I wouldn't want in a bread bowl is Italian chest hair.
Well,
But it might even taste
someone
okay.
might like that from Gene. They love him so much. I don't know. But
Look at his
he
face.
Well, there are definitely no chest hairs in Friesen Brothers Mother Dough Bread Co sandwiches for the record.
There isn't. But Gene said that he would have anything in a bread bowl, and I'm like, not anything. Yeah. But-
Anyway,
yeah.
so we've influenced Jean Principe. Let us influence you. He's pretty excited about it. I was like, Winterburn Point, you gotta go.
Absolutely. All right. Well, yeah, that's just a great sandwich, and a great bread makes a great sandwich, and there's no better bread than at Mother Dough Bread Co.
You can also get the cinnamon buns, which is part of Bailey's favorite things.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Community Sheets brought to you by Crystal Glass. At Crystal Glass, they have been servicing, drivers, homeowners, and businesses across Western Canada for over 70 years, led initially by Ed Bean and now Ken Franchuk and the team. They are leaders in the community as well, and that's why they want to, again, sponsor Community Sheets in the City of Champions, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We got to do a shout out to a Sheets head. I met many of them on New Year's Eve at the Brett Kissel concert at the Silent Ice Center, which is an amazing arena, which is, they call it Nisku. It's kind of just on the south side, just on the edge of Nisku. It's kind of on the north side of Nisku, on the south side of the city in 41st Avenue area. And that rink is beautiful. And Brett Kissel put on an incredible show with Haley Benedict, who has become just an absolute star in country music.
And a star in this house. You and Mom love her.
Yeah. And Morgan Kleiber, same thing. Awesome. And so we had a great time, and I met many people that talked about Talking Sheets. But Carly, literally, she started to almost tear up. She just said, "You guys make me so happy," and she was just so fantastic. And she says, "And I love when Ronaldo comes on."
So there you go.
She lost all credibility at that point. But prior to that. But anyway, shout out to Carly. She was so sweet, and and the show was fantastic. And we raised some money for Alberta Dreams with a 50-50. Thanks to everybody that was there that bought 50-50 tickets. And Alberta Dreams this year, the organization I proudly work for that delivers dreams to chronically and seriously ill children across the province. 40 dreams this year on the 40th year of the organization. You can find out how you can help at albertadreams.ca. All right. Another Community Sheets reminder. With this weather we've had, Hope Mission, and all of the other organizations that are downtown. I mean, can you imagine, like, the weather we've had? It's been miserable if you are lucky enough to have a home. Yeah, right?
It's cold everywhere, and the snow is just making things so difficult for people that are living without homes right now. Yeah. And, we're very thankful to have the places in the city. They're very full. Yeah. But one thing you can do to help is definitely donations, and they're asking for warm clothes and blankets and things like that. I'm sure the food bank is also asking for food donations right now. Again, there's more people in shelters when the weather outside is so difficult. Yeah,
and just a reminder that just because the Christmas season, everybody's in a giving mood during the Christmas season, then we get to January and we're like,
January's tough,
January, everybody's like, oh, I'm giving out, but you can't. You just gotta keep pushing on because there's people in the in our community that need it, and Edmonton always rises to the occasion. So just a reminder about those, and a reminder about shoveling for your neighbors if you can, or maybe taking your Edmonton Kubota tractor and
doing the entire neighborhood without consent.
That was just a couple of people.
He just goes in.
They weren't home.
I don't know if it counts as a breaking and entering if you're just going into the yard and chaotically shoveling and plowing the snow and then leaving.
Chaotically, there's an absolute. There's a method to my madness.
I've never seen you so meticulous about something in your life as the snow removal. You care.
It was ridiculous. I went out to Mother Doe Bread Co. to
get our dinner.
And as I did, I noticed that there was kind of a bit of a row in the middle of the driveway that I had kind of missed. And I'm like, what is this? What is this new Chris? Because I'm like, I came back, I warmed up the old Edmonton Kubota, and I went out and I got rid of that little row, which is a joke because in your subdivision, or not subdivision, in your residential streets, I mean,
there's not a clear spot. You honestly, if you could
bring the tractor,
if you could find a way to bring the tractor, you would make some people very, very happy in our neighborhood because wow, I can't imagine not having snow mode on like a nice SUV like we do.
I don't mind the idea. Maybe I get a trailer in Edmonton Kubota and we just, we randomly
go do some.
People enter through Talking Sheets. They enter and we can come and clean their area out.
It's not a bad idea, but please start with us.
Actually. Okay, well, I think that's a show.
We didn't even share our outs.
We didn't?
We only shared our ins. I was like, where are we going?
Oh, my gosh. I think that's a show. Maybe there are no outs for this year.
It's only ins.
All right.
It's only ins.
Pick one of your favorite outs. Okay. And I know you worked hard on it.
I did. We prepped this. I will say that outs were a lot harder for me than ins. So we'll just do one each. And producer Renato has one ready, I'm sure.
No, he did his
out.
He
already did it.
Yeah, so Renato's the only one that did his out.
The only out we did was house plants. No plants in your home. That's it.
Unless they're fake.
All right, what's your out before we go?
Okay, my out this year is saying yes to everything.
Okay.
I am a little bit of the kind of person that doesn't like to disappoint anyone, and then I say yes to everything, and I get overwhelmed, and then I don't have enough time for the things that really matter. So I'm going to be a little more picky this year about my time. And that includes to my father as well.
Does that include talking sheets?
No, like I said, talking sheets is something that is very important to me. So,
Okay.
Just being a little bit pickier about where you spend your time and your energy.
Okay.
Saying yes to everything is out.
All right. My out is artificial intelligence. And I know it's going to be the opposite because it's only going to get bigger. But it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I talked about it last week, I think, where you can you make a picture look real, like you can all of a sudden, and I see these ads and I see these things on TikTok where they have you, obviously grandpa's gone and you can hug him and stuff like that. It's just, to me, that's just weird. Like I'd love to be able to do that with my father, of course, although we were never really huggers. But I'm thinking if I did that in the picture, he'd be going, "Why are you hugging me? What's going on?" But I think that's the smallest part of it. Yeah. The biggest part is so much stuff that you see now. You're like,
is it real?
This can't be real. This just can't be real, right?
Yeah.
So it's frustrating. So that's my out, is artificial intelligence. And I don't mean to be that old guy that's waving at the clouds, but
no, but I think that it's more than that. I think that there's like AI is everywhere now, and it's not even just images online. It's again, we talked about the AI chatbots and things, people trying to replace different things for humans. But I think that just use your own brain. I think that's a really big one, is people are using AI for so much, and it's like legitimately impacting the way that their brains are wired, because you don't have to think about things the same way. But also, Renato showed me a 7'5" tall basketball player who was a woman, and she was crushing it on the court. And I said, "This isn't real," and he said, "It is real." So not knowing what is real and what is fake, that's a big out. Big out. Big out.
Sure. And it's frustrating. People aren't sure what to believe, and now it's only getting worse. Yeah. So there you go. Okay, are we out?
I think that we're out.
Yeah.
We only did. We had a list of 10. I do want to shout out to the Scheetz heads, because they say that this week is like the toughest week, and this.
I thought it was the third week. I think the travel industry made up a Blue Monday.
Oh yeah, so people travel, but it's getting back to. A lot of people are going back to work this week after a long. I worked this whole time, so I don't really feel it. But it's the ultimate Sunday scary week, where you're just like getting back to reality after eating and drinking and hanging out and not doing anything. So hopefully everyone is having a good week.
Hang in there.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Because it's like after the wedding or whatever, after Christmas, right?
Bit of a Christmas crash for sure.
Christmas crash.
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely. And next week will be the anniversary celebration show. Pay attention to our Instagram, not only because you can do this Pet Expo stuff and things like that, but you also will have opportunities to chime in, and we'll be asking you some fun questions that we're
doing a year in review, and that includes the Scheetz heads.
Yeah.
Course.
Okay, let's do it. All right. Thanks to Crystal Glass, Londonderry Dodge, Cook County Saloon, Steakhouse, Mother Doe Bread Co., and our Talking Sheets presenting sponsor this week, Edmonton Pet Expo. They're back January 17th and 18th, the Edmonton Expo Center.
You don't have to wait very long.
The city's biggest event for pet lovers. I think we nailed it, other than me forgetting the outs.
Yeah, we have like 10 outs. Maybe we'll share those one day.
We're out.
Even when we got nothing to talk about, there's nowhere I'd rather be, 'cause there's something about you and me just sitting around talking sheets.